Welcome back to a round of 50 random facts that will blow your mind. Paris has 0 stop signs. Getting around is all about right-of-way rules, traffic lights, and clever city planning. Chlamydia affects a large portion of Australia's koala populations, posing a serious challenge to their long-term survival, though it's not the sole driver of extinction risk. And by the way, the strain of chlamydia that affects koalas is different from the one that infects humans, so the risk of transmission is extremely low. The University of Bologna, established in 1088, holds the distinction of being the oldest university in continuous operation in Europe. Many delivery companies employ a strategy of minimizing left turns to achieve significant fuel savings. This works because left turns in right-hand traffic countries often involve waiting at intersections, which wastes fuel. Minimizing these turns reduces idle time and can also lead to more direct routes. Cuba boasts an impressive literacy rate of over 99%, placing it among the top countries globally in this regard. Approximately 400 cacao beans are needed to produce 1 pound of chocolate. While your body eliminates roughly half the caffeine you consume in about 5 hours, complete removal can take significantly longer, often exceeding 24 hours. While a 16 gigabytes drive might seem small by today's standards, it could hold the equivalent of roughly 240,000 times the data stored on the Voyager spacecraft. Pudus are 2 species of small South American deer, considered the world's smallest deer. They belong to the genus Pudu and are native to the Andean temperate rainforests of Chile and Argentina. Chiroptology is the scientific study of bats. Kiribati is unique in that it spans all 4 hemispheres, north, south, east, and west. This happens because its 33 atolls and reef islands are spread over a vast area in the Pacific Ocean, crossing both the equator and the 180 degrees meridian. Like humans have a dominant hand, elephants have a favorite tusk. You can tell by which one looks more worn down. The Gambia, the smallest country on mainland Africa, is almost entirely surrounded by Senegal, with the exception of its narrow Atlantic coastline. Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto are the 4 largest moons of Jupiter, famously discovered by Galileo Galilei in 1610. Joshua trees are Mojave Desert icons. They grow almost nowhere else, perfectly adapted to its rugged, high desert vibe. It's actually a type of yucca, not a tree. Botanically speaking, it's closer to an oversized, spiky, tree-shaped shrub than a true tree. They can grow up to 40 feet tall and live for hundreds of years. Another fact is that they rely on a specific moth, the yucca moth, for pollination. Taiwan was historically known as Formosa, a Portuguese name meaning beautiful, given by Portuguese explorers in the 16th century. Sound frequencies above 20,000 Hz are called ultrasonic. Humans can't usually hear them. Stainless steel has to have at least 10.5% chromium to be called stainless steel. Luxembourg is one of the few remaining Grand Duchies in the world, and currently it's the only independent Grand Duchy. Paleobotany is the study of fossilized plants used to understand plant evolution and past environments. In English, 2 is the only prime number without the letter E in its name. NASA's Kepler mission, over its duration, identified over 2,600 exoplanets, making it the most prolific planet-hunting mission to date. Calculus was invented twice in the 1600s by Newton and Leibniz, each working solo. Newton tied it to physics, while Leibniz nailed the mathy symbols. Rum comes from sugarcane, either its byproduct, molasses, or straight-up sugarcane juice, depending on where it's made. Nearly all the world's opals, around 95%, come from Australia. Seals and sea lions belong to the pinniped suborder, a group of semi-aquatic mammals within the larger order Carnivora. The term pinniped comes from the Latin words pinna, wing or fin, and pedis, foot, referring to their flipper-like limbs. Venezuela holds the distinction of being one of the first countries in the world to abolish the death penalty, doing so in 1863. It takes roughly 540 peanuts to make a 12-ounce jar of peanut butter. In early development, all embryos have the potential to become either sex. Nipples, or mammary papillae, form before sex is determined, which is why both men and women have them. Later, if a Y chromosome is present, its SRY gene triggers male development. The United States' first satellite, Explorer 1, was surprisingly lightweight, weighing only about 31 pounds, or approximately 14 kilograms. Nephelococcygia refers specifically to the act of seeing animals or familiar objects in cloud shapes. The sun fuses an astonishing amount of hydrogen, approximately 600 million tons, into helium every second. While most birds mix urine and feces in the cloaca, some species, like ostriches, have a bladder, though its function differs from that of mammals. In ostriches, the bladder doesn't store liquid waste for long periods. Instead, it temporarily holds urine before it mixes with solid waste. This adaptation may help them conserve water in their dry habitats. The Brazilian wandering spider is known for its potent venom and is considered one of the most dangerous spiders in the world. Its leg span can reach up to 18 centimeters or 7 inches. The name flip-flops is an example of onomatopoeia, as it mimics the sound the sandals make when walking. Emu chicks are primarily cared for by the male emu, not the female. Dinosaurs roamed the earth for an incredible 150 million years, while humans have only existed for a tiny fraction of that time, a mere 0.1%. Laurel forests, or laurisilva, are relic ecosystem. They are found in several locations worldwide, including the Azores and Madeira Islands of Portugal, the Canary Islands of Spain, and parts of Central and South America. These dense, evergreen forests thrive in humid subtropical and oceanic climates. Estimates suggest that around 100 million people served in the armed forces during World War II. Earth is the densest planet in our solar system, with an average density of about 5.52 grams per cubic centimeter. No penguin species lives naturally in the northern hemisphere. Most centenarians are women, accounting for roughly 80 to 85% of people who reach 100 years old. Some studies suggest that upwards of 95 to 97% of all life on Earth is found in the planet's oceans and other aquatic environments. Queen Victoria survived at least 7 assassination attempts during her reign. Oak trees typically begin producing acorns when they are between 20 and 50 years old. It's estimated that the top 1% of musical artists account for a disproportionately large share of music sales revenue, often cited to be around 75 to 80%. Guinness appears black, but it's actually a very dark ruby red. In a double-blind study, neither researchers nor participants know who gets the treatment or placebo until the study ends. This prevents bias. Researchers can't unintentionally influence results, and participants' expectations don't affect outcomes. Placebo effect. Double-blinding ensures more reliable scientific results. If the European Union were a single country, it would be the 7th largest by land area and the 3rd most populous, with approximately 447 million people. Detergents are amphiphilic substances, meaning their molecules have both hydrophilic, water-attracting, and hydrophobic, water-repelling parts. This dual nature allows them to emulsify oils and grease by surrounding nonpolar substances, breaking them into smaller droplets and suspending them in water. Thanks for watching. Check out my other videos and subscribe for more.